HockeyTalk.com's owner and writer, Mitch Casper.
Thought one. The Winnipeg Jets went 2-0-1 at home this past week. The boys let one slip away Saturday against Toronto, but still 5 out of 6 points overall is not too bad. Their record has improved to 19, 22, and 6, which is 7 points out of the playoffs.
If you look at it, that they got 5 out of 6 points, you're happy. But if you watched that game against Toronto and they lost in overtime, if you dwell on that one game, it kind of leaves a sour taste in your mouth. But overall, 5 out of 6 is pretty good. We basically have to do that every week. Most weeks you're going to have 3 to 4 games, and you've got to be on the positive side of the points. If there's 10 points available, you want to get 7 or 8. Actually, well, obviously you want to get all 10, but sometimes reality sinks in.
Yep.
Let me go to the screenshot here for a second. Don't worry about it. I know we have, before the break, we have 9 games left. 4 at home, 5 on the road, so it's going to be tough. Got to win on the road. Starting tonight, we're in Chicago. They're one of the teams, they're just a few points ahead of us. We want to catch them. The return of Jonathan Taves.
Right.
But then tomorrow night, we're at home on a back-to-back. We got St. Louis, and that's one of the other teams that's just ahead of us. Like Scott Arneal in this press conference earlier in the week said, you just got to start reeling in the teams one at a time ahead of you. But here's 2 teams that are right within our grasp. And basically, if we can win both these games, puts us in better shape. Not great shape, but better shape. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to beat Chicago. They're a good young team, and they're at home. And there's nothing harder in this league to do than win games on the road. It's tough. So we'll see who shows up. Last year, it was Jets would just go anywhere and just shut them down defensively. But this year, it's been a bit of a struggle. We're sort of coming out of it, but I'm not fully confident yet. We still give up a lot of grade A chances in our own end, and we still we're not getting much scoring out of the third line, which we'll talk about later. I mean, we've talked about how the last week or so it looks like the second line has been reborn. So anyway, we'll leave it at that. Here's the thing. We all like wins in regulation.
Correct.
Just put points up. Even if you got to get a point, just 1 point. Just keep on point.
Yeah.
We prefer 2 points, but just make sure you get no less than 1. Get the game to overtime. Gee, that's the thing. You say, well, we'll settle for the point. But once you get to overtime or the shooter, you go, what the hell is money? Right? So it's a catch-22. The thing is, I guess, is don't take the losses in overtime or the shootout as hard. It's like, at least you put a point up.
Doesn't
and that's what the goal is now. For now, it's just get points. So let's, we'll leave it at that.
All right. Thought 2. The Jets have 9 games left before the mini-trade deadline on February 4th. 4 at home, 5 on the road. And this stretch probably decides whether they're buyers or sellers.
Yes. You got... I call it the mini trade deadline, but it's true. And the trades are already starting. There was 2 today. That's the page I wanted to go to. There we go. So if you look at it, that's my air economy, and we'll get back to that. But the Golden Knights, NHL media, this tweet really pissed me off. I'll explain why.
Okay.
The Golden Knights did Golden Knights things, going out and acquiring one of the top defensemen in the NHL, Rasmus Anderson from the Flames. Oh, yes. What do you think about the trade? Well, I know Kelly McCrimmon from my scouting days.
Right.
He was the GM of Brandon. Really nice guy.
Okay.
Smart guy. But come on, dudes. This guy's he's got layups all the time. Oh, geez. Who wouldn't want to go to Vegas? A tax-free state.
Yep.
I mean, it's Vegas, right?
Yeah.
It's Vegas. It's got weather.
Mm-hmm.
They're a good team.
What's there to complain about?
Yeah, exactly. His recruiting's not hard.
Yeah.
So they make this deal, It was a good trade for both teams. I think Calgary did pretty well on with the return they got. But I mean, considering Rasmus Anderson really said he only really wants to go to Vegas. That's the team he wanted to go to, and that's where he ended up. So, really, how hard was that deal for Kelly McCrimmon? Let's stop anointing him as the Grand Poobah. Like, I saw tweets today from the Winnipeg fan base going, "Man, we'd like to get Kelly here." You think Kelly McCrimmon would do any better here than Chevy? And I'm one of Chevy's biggest critics. It's tough being a GM here. What are you going to compare? Oh, you want to come, to a tax-free state with good weather, casinos, nightlife. You're treated like a king. Vegas treats their players good. They got a great brand new rink. Well, it's not brand new now. It's a few years old, a couple years old, but it's not a hard recruitment to go there versus here. So let's all due respect. I love Kelly. He's a great guy. He's very personable, friendly, but his job's not as hard as probably 32 of the other GMs in this league. But back to what was the original question or the point you were making?
Oh, that the Jets have 9 games left before the mini trade deadline, and the stretch probably decides.
Oh yeah, because I was getting to the trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they picked up Anderson and San Jose Sharks, who were in a playoff position, picked up Kiefer Sherwood from Vancouver. That's a nice pickup, and they didn't give up a lot. 2 second-rounders. I'd give that up, but it's different because when the guy's a UFA, if he doesn't sign there, you're just giving away 2 draft picks for. Well, he's a rental. Make no bones about it. It's a rental player. He might end up signing there. So, yeah. I wish Ben would stop texting me on WhatsApp when he knows that we're on live at 7 o'clock and making my phone bing while I'm on, but that's Ben.
Tune in, Ben. Tune in. Maybe he is. Looks like there's some
you
people
should
watching.
take something on here and say, what the? Anyway, so yes, to make the point, the trade deadline starting, let's make no bones about it. Chevy's definitely talking to people. There's people interested in Shen, there's people interested in Stanley. We'll get to Big Stan in a bit here, but takes 2 to tango. And Chevy's, one thing I do respect about him, although he sometimes he doesn't prove it, but he has in the past overpaid for rentals and picks. But yeah, he's I'm sure he's been busy. I know he doesn't feel like he's in any rush to make a big trade or anything. So, but believe me, he's talking. Yeah, I mean, who knows? If he acquired Luke Shen last year as a playoff or as a rental, because they thought they were going to go to the Cup, and they still think the same thing this year, although things aren't working out that way. So he has to make a decision whether they're buyers or sellers. Mm-hmm. I'd probably trade him no matter what. Get something for him because, you could always wait till the real deadline, but they might not even know then if they're buyers or sellers. The job now is in this next stretch because it's tough. Excuse me. Is to keep their head above water and just start pecking away at the guys ahead of them, and then make your decision. See, there are trades out there they're just pure hockey trades that have no bearing on whether you're going, for a run or not. It's just a hockey trade where you just try to improve your team with guys with good contract and term, and you move out some guys that maybe are expiring. But like I say, that mini deadline's in basically almost exactly 2 weeks.
Yep, it's coming up.
Then there's the Olympic break, and then basically 2 weeks after the Olympics is the real deadline. So in February, there's not much going on because there's no games, right? But there's some dates that are very, very important, and that next one coming up is in February, and we play 9 games before then. I'd love to see us somehow get 6. I'm not so sure, but we'll see. Carry on.
Thought 3. It took a couple injuries, but Elias Salomonson gets another call-up. And honestly, he looks like a veteran out there. Sometimes the biggest compliment you can pay a player is that you didn't really notice him on the ice. Salomonson has looked very solid. he should or could be here to stay.
Yeah, I would think there's a good chance he's not going back, and I'm just basing that on we got. I mean, they make a big deal about it. Somebody says, "Oh, the Jets are down 3 defensemen." Well, really, are we down 3? I mean, all due respect to Hayden Fleury and Colin Miller, they really haven't been playing a lot, and they only just put them in the lineup just so they don't rot, in the press box. And Pionk is really the only regular that's out. I don't know that we lose a lot right now. Ben, we're recording. Why the fuck are you texting me? My God.
You don't even have your little bank account up.
Yeah, so
I can't
anyway,
even charge him, so
yeah.
don't call me out.
No, what was I just saying?
Oh gosh, Salamonson.
Yeah, he's
Could be here
looked
to stay.
solid. See, like I said, the greatest compliment you can pay a guy is that didn't notice him out there. Like how I noticed DeMello, when DeMello makes all those big gaffes and mistakes, you can't help but miss him. Salamonson was solid. I was watching him, don't get me wrong, and he made the right decisions and the right plays most of the time. He looked calm, and he looked, what's the word I'm looking for? Poised, very poised. So it's a good sign for him. I'm really happy. And like I said, with those injuries, good chance he's going to be here for a while.
Sparky says, "Mark my words, Jets will be the hottest team going into playoffs." Laughing face.
Well, it's funny. We could be if we get there.
Never know. Things could turn around.
Yeah. Well, they are. They're
They
slowly
are, that's
turning,
the
but
thing.
there's a long
Yeah.
way to go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then he said, Salamonson should never see another AHL game.
No, I agree with that. I think I even said that in my article today. I think he's done. Yeah.
Thought 4. You have something new to add into the put that in your pipe and smoke it file.
Yeah.
Lately, you have been extremely disappointed in Adam Lowry's play. Offensively, he actually looks more dangerous, but defensively, it's been rough. Blown coverages, late reads, missed assignments. You can't remember the last time he won a key face-off. He never cheats the game, but he's clearly off his game. And this team needs their captain to step up. You don't take great pleasure in criticizing the captain, but you're not a cheerleader either. So if you can't handle the truth, put that in your pipe and smoke it, people.
Exactly what she said.
You can't handle the truth.
Here's the thing. Don't get me wrong. I really, really like Adam Lowry. I hated the new contract he just signed. He's 32 years old. They gave him 4 years at $5 million a year, starting next year. He's already a declining asset. Yes, they're probably paying for things he's done in the past, but it doesn't work like that. He's not a $5 million hockey player right now. So here's the thing. He's going to be 36 years old when this contract terminates. He's already starting to slide. He still competes. He still does most of the right things. To me, he hasn't been the same since coming back from the injury, or even like say with the injury being, you lose everything. You lose camp. He's just a step behind everything. He's not the fastest guy. Like I said in the article, though, the thing that I noticed that was the funniest was he seems to be making better plays offensively, but that's not his job. He's the driver of the third line, and the third line right now is our weakest link on the team. And defensively, like I said, I'll talk about upcoming, but when was the last time him and Morgan Barron won the face-off when we're killing a penalty? When the other team gets a power play, it's a full 2-minute power play because they win the draw and they control the puck, and we never get it. So that's really bugging me too. It's like we're going to have to use Jonathan Toews everywhere, but it's I take no pleasure in criticizing the captain, but it's warranted. And I have to say, I'm not here to be a cheerleader or blow smoke up your ass. Just to tell you the truth, he's not playing well. If you don't believe me, watch it yourself, and you watch a lot of times. I mean, we don't want to see this now. Don't get me wrong, but you watch you watch it sometimes when the Jets get scored on. You look at the guy who scored, and Lowry's a half step or a half a second just behind. He knows where he's going, what he's supposed to do, but he's just not reacting in time. So hopefully he'll straighten it out. Everybody right now is going to have to up their game a little bit, give a little more, be a little better than they were in the first half, including the captain. And you know what's funny is he knows it. He says it in the dressing room. But the thing is, talk is only worth so much. We need action, and he's a good captain, and he'll lead us out of this, whatever.
Moving on to thought 5 now. You admit that now that the lines have settled a bit, you like what Tanner Pearson brings to the fourth line. He was never the fastest guy, and he has definitely lost a step, but he knows where to go on the ice. A perfect example was his goal against Minnesota on Thursday in St. Paul?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I said I would, like on the article, I said I explained that on the live show tonight. And in the off season when they were announcing the signings, I went with Tanner Pearson. I know exactly what he has to offer. He's a guy that's going to score you 10 goals. He would probably be a higher scorer when he was younger. It's funny, him and Scheifele played together, and they're basically the same age, but Scheif has aged a lot better than Tanner. Tanner still has a lot to offer. He's smart and he's a winner. Whereas I was not happy with the Nyquist signing. I just thought he was done. That's another story I'm not going to get to. But the Golden Mini, this is huge. You got a 1-all hockey game, and we're in the last minute of the game. The puck gets stumped into the corner, and it would have been to the left of Wallstead. And what happens is the puck goes in. Quinn Hughes goes to retrieve it, and Tanner Pearson notices him, gets down on him quickly, gives him a nice, clean little check into the boards, frees up the puck. I don't know if it was him that threw it back to the point, or if he created the turnover and somebody else flipped it back to the point. But as soon as he hit, as soon as he hit Hughes, he went from here, and he went right away straight to the net. That puck came from the point, right on net, bang, rebound, save, and then the rebound he scores on. Mm-hmm. It was just a smart hockey play. Just sometimes they're lucky the rebound has to come right to you. But it was just the way the play was executed, and he did all the right things. He took his man out, and the play just worked. That goal was scored with 9 seconds left in the first period, and we went up 2-1. And believe it or not, somehow the puck ended up in Minnie's end, face off with 4 seconds left. Taves wins that draw, back to Scheif, he does a little shoulder pump, flips it over to Josh for a one-timer, buzzer beater. Jets scored 2 goals in 9 seconds to go up 3-1. It was game over. Well, it's never really game over when you're playing a mini, and they got a good team. But the thing is, then we scored the biggest thing, and we'll get to this later on too when guys talk about protecting leads, is we got the 4th, then we got the 5th, then we got the 6th. And by the time they got their second goal to make it 6-2, it was lights out. It was late in the third, and what a great win. But it was all started by a heads-up play by a veteran, Tanner Pearson.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, thought 6. Jonathan Taves will be visiting Chicago tonight for the first time since his return to the NHL. There should be a lot of emotions in his first game back at the United Center. Let's hope JT puts on a show.
Yeah, I'm not one of these ones that gets all warm and fuzzy for these little reunions. But it's nice. Patrick Kane, who did the same thing this year, actually, he scored in overtime to beat them. Said it's going to be loud in there. It might even be louder than there was for him. I mean, he was Taser was the captain there, and 3 Stanley Cups, and they said his nickname was Captain Serious. But I hope they do it right tonight on TSN. Generally speaking, when they have the little video scoreboard tributes to a player, they do it during the commercial break. And it's usually the second or third commercial break in the first period.
Okay.
I'm
Interesting.
hoping that TSN will say something like this, and they've done this in the past. They finally figured it out. They go, "We're going to stay with you this commercial break so we can show you the Jonathan Taves tribute. It's not going to be a big deal. It'll be a couple minutes long. He's going to get a massive standing ovation, massive." And it might go on for a minute or so, and he'll be nodding, tipping the hat and stuff like that, and it'll be emotional. He's a lot of friends and family there, so it's. I hope TSN does it right, and we get to see that. But yeah, good for him. Congratulations. Like I say, once again, I keep on saying this, but we'll be talking about JT a little further on in this show. But yeah, it's a big night for him. And you know what? I hope the Jets. I mean, if they don't get pumped up by this, you can feel the sense of it and help their teammate have a big night and just get a big win where he gets a big goal. And so there's fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Hoping.
It's coming up. It's coming up soon.
Yep.
Okay, Thought 7. Quick Moose update. They are 4-2-1 since the calendar flipped to 2026 and sitting third in the Central Division. They sit comfortably in third place in the 7-team Central Division with a winning percentage of .569. The good news is that the team is very competitive, but the bad news is that they don't score a lot. Right now, the Jets' best prospects seem to be on the blue line and in goal, although some of their forward prospects are playing much better. And one of your faves, goaltender Thomas Millich, has been selected to play in the 2026 AHL All-Star Classic in Rockford, Illinois.
Yes, love Thomas Millich. You might wonder why I made a note of putting in the winning percentage, or would you say it was 569 or 550?
Yeah.
In the American Hockey League, they don't play a balanced schedule like they do in the NHL. Because
they like to do everything different.
Well, that's a geography.
I guess.
Think about it. Like, we'll give you an example. In the Central Division, there's 7 teams, right? And in the other division, I don't know if they call it the Western or the Pacific, there's 10, right?
Yeah.
And what they try to do, because it's the minor leagues, they don't get 16,000. Well, some places they get good crowds, but it's not a big revenue earning thing. It's just the parent teams hope that their minor league affiliate just makes enough money just to sort of keep heads afloat, head above water.
Yep.
And so the reason, a way to do that is to cut down on travel. And now with it, since we've expanded to the West Coast in the NHL, we've expanded to the West Coast in the AHL. Actually, I did.
True.
Also, I meant to say. There's a team in Tucson, there's another one in Vegas, they call it Henderson, but it's the same thing. There's one in San Diego. Altogether, there's 10 teams out there, and they might play 70 games. Central Division might play 65. Out east, they're all compacted. They might play 80, whatever. So you can't go by points because it's going to be all skewed. So they just go by winning percentage, and that's how they see it. So that makes sense. Like I said, the bad news with the Moose is they don't score much. I mean, their leading goal scorer is maybe Walker Dewar and Mason Shaw, a couple guys up there. But I mean, you're looking at stats where guys play 45 games and they have their leading scorers like 34 points. That's not even a point a game.
Yeah.
There's nobody close to a point a game. Gus has got good numbers. So that's why I said their best prospects seem to be right now in goal with Dominic DeVicentes and Thomas Millich, and a couple of those defensemen down there are pretty good too. So, and we still got Hinoa that we haven't done anything with. They're fucking rot down there, but whatever. So our forward prospects, we've got some good ones there, but they're all just babies. They're just babes, You got Braden Yeager, and you got, Brad Lambert's close to being the NHL. He'll be here shortly. A little disappointed in Nikita Chiprikov's here, hasn't been great. So we'll see. We got some guys, Colby Barlow, I really like him, but he's a long way away from the NHL too. So I guess what it's all about is patience.
Yep, patience is.
Yep. That's what I used to say to her when she was a kid. Patience, because she'd sit there and she'd want her lunch. Anyway.
That's true.
Yep.
Speaking of forwards, your thought 8 kind of touches on this. You think we've seen enough of Danny Zilkin for now,
Yeah.
and that maybe it's time to give another Moose forward a look. And attached to this thought, you also have a poll.
Yeah, I named a
With
bunch
some
of
the
guys there. It's
forwards.
just, it's all the top. It's just the forwards. I mean, we've already called up Solomon, so we've got Phillips up. He's playing tonight. And so I said, which forward do you want to see next? And it's not that I got anything against Danny Zilkin. Right now, the Jets with Morgan Barron back and that have their best lineup on the ice. And Danny Zilkin doesn't really fit in there, but they have room now because of the guys on the IR where they can send him back down. He got, he's got 3-4 games. Nice treat for him.
Yeah.
Bring up Walker Dewar. He's the leading scorer. Bring up Giuseppe. He's got NHL experience. He played in Vancouver last year. So we have guys. Mason Shaw played with us, and Parker Ford. We have some guys down there. As long as the guys that bring up know they have to check, play good defense, and can skate, and most of those guys can. And that's probably why I think Gus Bus isn't up. And I got him on the list. David Gustafson. Gus is a good hockey player, good on the face-offs. He does a lot of things good. He's got a better offensive knack than most people think. But the thing is, he's not the fastest guy. So if you're going to be a bottom 6 guy, you got to be a couple different attributes. You got to be tough, or you got to be able to grind, check, and be fast. If you have a couple of those assets, you got a chance to play. But none of those guys that I put on that list are going to be world beaters or game changers. It's just, can you want to give them a chance?
Yeah, switch it up.
Exactly, mix it up, and let's just see what happens. A lot of times those guys, they add some jump to the team because they're so happy and hungry to play. Like Walker Dewar's got NHL experience too. A lot of these guys have got NHL games in it, so nothing against Dan Zilkin. He worked hard and he did what he was supposed to do, but let's have a look at somebody else, if it permits. Not just for the sake of sake. Do you know what I mean?
For sure. Thought 9. Time to check in on the playoff odds for this week. As of Monday morning, I guess today, the Jets' chances of making the playoffs are sitting at 14.3%.
Well, you look at last week, we hit one spot on a day where it was 4. So we won, let's see, we've gotten points in 6 of the last 7 games. And if you look at how last week went, it was kind of steady below 10. They're 8-3, 8-3, 8-6.
Yeah.
And then after we won a couple of games, went up to 16, and then we dropped that point against the Leafs, and it went down a little bit, and then we didn't play, and there wasn't a lot of games on Sunday, which was yesterday, and it went up to 14.3. And it's still pretty low, but all you can do is peck away and bang out some points and just see where it takes you. I mean, here's the thing: is they're in a situation right now where they don't control their own destiny. They need. For me and then for some of my buddies, it's like scoreboard watching is. It's tough,
Yeah.
watching the scoreboard every day. Usually you start watching the scoreboard in March. We're watching it in January, and every night. You hope Nashville loses, or you hope Utah loses. All the teams in your conference.
Yeah, it's not just about
it's
the
just,
Jets winning. It's about other teams losing.
If the Jets win and
how
all the
many
guys
points?
they're trying to catch win, you're not gaining.
No.
But at least you didn't lose ground. So that's where we are there. So we'll move on to next one. Was it number 10?
Yep.
Things that make me cool.
Yep. Considering the Jets traded up to draft Logan Stanley and they've dealt with the ups and downs of his development plus his injuries, can you see them letting him walk to free agency just when he's starting to look like the D-man they had envisioned? This creates an interesting situation. It has been reported in the past that Big Stan has asked for a trade, and considering he's a pending UFA, you can't help but wonder what's going on behind the scenes.
Well, and that's the funny thing is, yes, I don't doubt that there's, I believe it's true that he has asked for a trade. Not lately. Wouldn't have been this year. He's playing lots and he's playing well. But in the past, and I don't know if he has any legs to stand on there, because pretty hard to trade a guy or complain about your ice time when you're injured, you're rehabbing, and then you just don't. And he was never good enough just to throw back into the lineup. He got his opportunity this year, basically. But Scott Arniel hopes that he's a big guy, use his strength, help as an enforcer, kill penalties. And as it turns out, he's showing a little bit of his offensive spark from junior. And what's happened now is he's becoming a coveted free agent or trade deadline acquisition because he's finally starting to show a little bit of what the Jets thought they were trading up for on draft day about 6 or 7 years ago, maybe even longer, I can't remember. But so all I'm saying is, after they've invested all this time and patience and hopefully development, you're just going to let him walk away to free agency? Answer is a hard no.
Yeah, it'd be silly.
They're going to either do one of two things: start contract talks and extend him, or they're going to trade him. Now, here's the thing: lots of teams want Stanley. I'm tell you right now, there's no doubt in my mind that the Jets would love to have Logan Stanley re-sign here at, who knows, maybe a team-friendly contract, which for him now would be 4 or 5 years at $4 million, 3.5 to 4. That's a team-friendly. His market value right now is, like Drew Mandel said last week, he figures he's worth, and he's not far off probably, the way he's playing, is probably 5 years, or at $5 million. And because we see him play all the time, and we see a lot of his mistakes, his gaffes and whatever, but we've seen a lot of his good too. And other teams they have pro scouts, and they'll go, well, he did this and that. They can say it's coaching or that bad luck on his bad stuff, but they see enough there. They just see a guy who's 6'7" and has got a cannon for a shot and is having a good year. So if Stan wants to stay, I'm sure this will get done before, I'm going to say the second trade deadline, not the mini. The mini coming up, he's not going anywhere. But if we don't have him signed, I mean, they got that whole month of Olympic break. That's where Chevy's either going to re-up some of his RFAs and UFAs. He's going to have enough time, or he'll be talking trade for the real deadline. I don't foresee Stan. Like I say, it's all in his court right now. It's just whether, I think the Jets want him, it's whether he wants to stay. If he doesn't want to stay and test the market, he's gone. And I would say now, maybe the sooner the better. You probably get more for him. You're going to get a full playoff run and the rest, basically almost half a season. So we'll see what happens. That's why I said it's going to be really interesting. It is. Yeah. He's a key, kind of an integral piece now, him and Luke Shen. Luke Shen's probably going too, but we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully they stick around. Yeah, thought 11 and 12, we're just taking a look at the special teams and goaltending stats for this week.
Yeah, there's nothing earth-shattering here to see. It's kind of funny if you look, though, at the power. Don't look at where they are, what the rank is, because the 19th and 22nd and all those other ranks don't mean much. Usually they line up how they're supposed to, but in this case, the power play percentage, it went it went up a little bit. Sometimes the actual percentage goes up, but they didn't go up in the rankings. But in this case here, so they're 21st. So they're in the bottom third. At the start of the year, they were in the top third. But if you notice, they did go up to 19.5. There's definitely a correlation there. They've won a whole bunch of games and gotten points, and that's because the power plays kicked in. Mm-hmm. Same thing with the PK. If you look at the PK, it's actually gone up too. But your PK being 19th at 78% is not good. It should be, the Jets should be in the 80s easily. They have this habit of not winning any face-offs and having 2 minutes of full pressure on them. Got to start winning some face-offs when they're short-handed. Lowry and like Morgan Barron. I love Morgan Barron, but shit, he hasn't won a draw this year in his defensive zone on the penalty kill. So, and of course, face-off wins is 50.8. It's because of Jonathan Taves, 63%. The rest of the guys have not been very good. Then the goaltending stats, they're don't even get me started on them. Harley's back to 500. His save percentage is 901, which for him is not good. He's should be around 910, 915. If he was 910 or 915, we'd be in the playoffs right now. Or if Connery would have made maybe 4 saves in that 2 weeks he had a chance to play, he was awful. I'm not gonna. Well, I think I talk about it later, but I got to get off at that because it can, get ill.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, go back to the show.
Thought 13.
I got tagged last week for copyright infringement again on the song, but they don't do anything. It's one of the ones that's it's okay.
Oh,
It's
okay.
okay. The guy, the
So
owner's
why-
100.
Why send a
Doesn't care.
notification then?
Yeah.
Well, at least you're in the clear.
Yeah.
Thought 13, as always, we have good, bad, and ugly
Yeah.
of this past week. The good, we're starting out with getting points in 6 of the last 7 games. Thank you.
Yes. Gotta just keep
Thank you.
the little ice pick. Keep
Yeah.
chipping away. Just like in Shawshank Redemption, that little hole in the wall.
Yes,
keep
totally.
Just keep on chipping away
You never know
and just
how
let
close you
everything
are.
take care of itself. I'd love to do this, and of course, there's not a hockey fan on earth that can do this. Turn your TV off for 2 weeks, this next 2 weeks before the Olympic break. Watch your games and stuff and that, but don't look at the standings and just see what happens and see what happens in 2 weeks if you look at the standings. Will you be happy or sad?
Yeah.
Because you're going to always have kind of a feeling about how your team plays, but that don't mean nothing, like I said earlier.
Yep.
Maybe a couple other teams, crap the bed and you're moving up and you're only not playing that great, or maybe you put together a big string and you think you're moved way up and everybody else is winning. And it's, the other thing is too, it's those darn 3-point games within your own conference that kill you too, where both teams get points.
Yeah.
Like, we'll say tonight.
No movement.
Well, or 1 point.
Yeah.
You'll take it.
Yeah.
Better than the alternative, but we'll say, well, tonight and tomorrow. I mean, I don't want to overstate this, but 2 regulation wins is huge. Just both 2 points and the other guys get nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the trick with the Gary Bettman's little voodoo with the 3-point games. It creates a false sense of parity.
Yeah.
But really, in essence, I got to get back on the bandwagon of all games being worth 3 points. I think we'll probably do that during the Olympic break because we're not going to have much hockey to talk about. We'll talk about rule changes and some of the goofy things that
cool.
got going. Yeah, I know some friends of mine have some concerns about some of the penalties, like puck over glass and some of these ridiculous things.
I know.
You can cross-check a guy in the face 10 times and the referees look at it like with a stunned look on their face.
Yeah.
Like, don't you dare put that puck over the glass. What's wrong with you? You got no respect for the game? Idiots. Another Bettmanism. You wonder why I call him Count Chocula. Count Idiot.
Yeah, that is an odd rule.
I love Gary Bettman. He knows it. Ooh.
Moving on to the bad. The leads the boys keep giving up.
Yeah, I think we have a couple questions in the queue about giving up leads. I don't think it has anything to do with anything. I really don't. It's just
what it is.
The other teams are pressing. What are you going to do? Referees let a little bit more go. The only way to protect the lead, like I said in that Minnesota game, that 3-1 after the first period was not a definite win.
Yeah.
When they scored the 4th, you start to feel a little better. When they scored the 5th, I went,
Yeah.
Take
that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The longer a team stays in a game, they put pressure on you. They put pressure on the officials. It's still game on. So, it happened. I mean, the Leaf game was once again a lost face-off, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson just got the puck and created a little floating wrister at Harley. Harley didn't see it, and just at the last second it got tipped. It looked like a nothing play, but every second in the game counts, and every face-off counts, and whatever. Yeah.
I think Sparky said, I think it says hello, but I think maybe he meant Helly. Helly is having a solo year. Helly, yeah. He said Helly is having a solo year.
Shit out of luck. You're so
Maybe. It says solo.
Anyway.
Probably that.
Yeah.
Most likely that. Alright. The ugly. I don't think Morgan Barron or Adam Lowry have won a face-off while the Jets were shorthanded.
Lowry before Taves got here, Lowry was our main man. And at saying that, he was only like a 51 or 52% guy, which is pretty good, because you figure if you're 52, that means you're losing 48. And it depends, because all face-offs aren't created equal.
Yeah.
I mean, if you win a face-off at center ice, well, who cares? But it's the ones in the offensive zone to say, if you're on the power play, you want to win that draw.
Yeah.
But for me, like I said, everything starts on the PK. Remember last week when I was saying if I could have one good and one bad,
You'd prefer that.
keep the puck out of our net.
Yeah.
I would prefer that you win the draws in your own end and get the puck. Because even if you win the face-off, you're still outmanned by one guy. There's a good chance you might not get to the puck and get it down the ice. But at least you get a chance. I can't stand the Jets. I watch these. I watched their penalty kill, and they're right off the bat, puck drops, and they're already under pressure. It's tough. We got to start winning face-offs. It's a big thing. It's a huge thing.
It is a huge thing. Sparky meant so-so. Helly's having a so-so year.
Consider the luck year is pretty.
The same thing, similar.
Yeah, and that's why I said to my buddy Ben that we were talking about Helly last week, and I said, don't get me wrong, an average, and even a bad Helly at times is still better than most goaltenders in the league.
Yeah.
But you get used to him making certain types of saves, and when he doesn't make them,
You're like, what the heck, man?
Yeah, I mean, it was like Comrie last week. It was, he played good against LA. Well, I got a comment about that too right away. But he made a great save in that game. The score was 5-1 in the third period. We needed that save 2 weeks ago when we were on the road and it was a 2-1 game.
Yeah.
Or we needed one save in Toronto on that Hockey Night in Canada game. We needed one save. So I don't. It's timing. A lot of it's timing, and like I said, I wasn't going to dwell on him too much, but I know I talked about him in thought number 15, so we'll wait till we
Save
get
it
there.
for that.
Yeah.
Well, before that, we have thought 14. You've watched Jonathan Toews long enough not to doubt your belief that he could still be an effective piece in this Winnipeg Jets puzzle. Your evaluation of JT is based on what you are seeing him do and not looking at his points or line mates. He's doing basically the same now as he was earlier on, but now working with Cole Perfetti, who has come out of hibernation, and a legitimate top six forward like Gabe Vilardi. It's not surprising we're seeing the positive results. It also helps when Scott Arneal stopped treating JT like a fourth liner.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, we are still seeing the odd blown coverage and too many careless penalties, but those are correctable. Now you're hoping for a big second half of the season for JT.
Yeah. I had never given up hope on JT, even when he allegedly wasn't playing that well. I'm watching him.
I remember.
Before he went to Shattuck St. Mary's, that would have been his midget year when he was around 17. The previous 2 years, I watched him in Bantam. I probably watched him play 3 times a week for 2 years. I know this kid.
You do.
I followed him when he was with Chicago. Always one of my favorite players. I even wrote an article about 8-9 years ago. I'll have to dig it up and maybe repost it about my dream was to have Jonathan Toews retire, or not retire, just to wear a Jets uniform. Well, it's come true.
Yeah.
It hasn't been a great Jonathan Toews because of certain situations with the health and not playing for 2 years and the effects of long COVID. But kind of funny, the skating looks decent. And this is from me watching him as a scout, we'll say, because that's what it was. I scouted him when I was with Portland. Watch him as a scout, I see all the things that he's good at, and he's still doing them, and he's doing them as good as ever. Now, a couple times a little slow to react, but that's to be expected. But early on in the season, I don't know that he was playing all that much different than he is now. You give him He might have had Perfetti earlier in the year, but Perfetti was just, I don't know, he was in a coma or something. And he never had a player like Gabe Velarde on his right wing. So now they got Cole, who's playing well.
Totally
He's
matters.
finally finding it again.
Yeah.
And you got Gabe. Looks like a really formidable line, but I was watching all the little nuances, how he cuts to the inside and how he has that little move with where he gives like the fake toe drag and all the same stuff that I've always seen is there. It's just now it's working. So now what we need to do is have him have it work at a higher level more consistently and down the stretch. He's a tremendous leader. You think he takes pride in being, allegedly not playing very well and put on the fourth line? No, you don't put a let's put it this way. You don't take a stakes racehorse and put him in a $5,000 claim and get a center white down. You know what I'm saying? He's a thoroughbred. You run him with the thoroughbreds, which means top two lines and power play. Why it took him all year to put him on the power play was beyond me. That's one thing you never lose. And the power play's clicking pretty good, and they have options there. So, I'm a little proud of myself, a little pat on the back. And way to go, Mitch. You had faith in him. It's being rewarded. And my love for JT is out there. It's well known. And, I did critique him earlier. I wasn't happy, but because I'm not here to be a cheerleader, but I'm not going to pull any punches either. I've seen a lot of good. And put it this way. There's no better option right now. I mean, that's a weird way to define a guy's job, that who's better, but he still has the potential to be effective. So let's, and I just hope that we're not grooming him, on his comeback, and then he has a good second half, and then somebody throws a boatload of money at him in the offseason, and they get the better Jonathan Toews after once again. We gave him his chance and got him developed again a little bit, but I'm jumping way too far ahead. We don't know. I mean, there's a team they'll pay a first rounder for him just because of his face-offs. Like a team that's a Stanley Cup contender. Yeah. I wouldn't want to trade him, but I'll tell you right now, if he's open to it, I'm getting way ahead of myself. That's not happening, but it could happen. When you're a seller, everybody's on the table, and somebody comes by and they offer you some assets. You got to listen. So I'd love to see the team make a run with him spearheading it with Scheif and the boys. But that's a long way away. We'll see what happens.
Thought 15. You're worried because the Jets are on back-to-back tonight and tomorrow at home, which means Eric Comrie gets a start. Although he played okay in his last outing versus the LA Kings, that was a low-event game that our ECHL goalies would have won. With all due respect to Winnipegger Isaac Poulter, who tends the net for Norfolk Admiles. Admiles?
Yep.
All right. I went to school with Isaac.
Yeah, Isaac Poulter, good kid.
Yeah,
he would have won that game.
Really
That's
nice.
what I'm saying. All due respect, I didn't want to belittle him. I'm attacking Comrie right
Not
now.
about,
But it's that, and that's the funny thing. When I was in Arizona, I used to go up to Prescott and watch one of their farm teams. It was a low-level farm team. They were like in the Central League. So we'd go to Prescott, and I was doing a little bit of scouting still. And it's funny because even in that league, the one thing about these lower levels of hockey, there's no stigma to playing in the ECHL being a bad league, more so if you're a goalie. If you're in the ECHL and you're a defenseman or a prospect, that's not a good thing. You got to get up to the AHL. That's your next goal, right? But if you're a farm system that you're really blessed to have a lot of good goaltending prospects, there's nothing wrong with a goaltender playing in even like the CHL, like in Prescott, Arizona, because shots are shots, right?
Yeah.
And those guys, no matter what level of pro they're at, they can still play.
Yeah.
And so being in the ECHL and being a great goalie, like right now, you take Isaac Poulter, he can play for the Moose, playing in the AHL somewhere. All about need.
He was at some point.
Yeah, he was last year.
And then he got re-signed to this team.
Yeah. But I like Isaac. I've seen him play, and whatever. Somebody's got to take that job behind Harley in a couple of years. I got a funny. Oh, here's interesting. You want to talk about interesting things about Comrie? Is he's a UFA next year. I can't see the Jets going out of the way to sign him. Now, in saying that, I don't think Thomas Millich or DiVincenzo's is ready yet, so I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe they sign Connery for one more year. But the thing with Eric is it took me a long time to get my faith in him, and I had it last year.
Yeah.
And a lot of that was the way the team played. And he showed me on his own he can't do what Kelly does. And who can? Let's be honest. But I would say Connery never gave us a chance to win every night. And he really showed that this year with a team that wasn't playing great in front of him and defense that wasn't playing that good. He is not good enough to be the man. So I liked when we had Laurent Brossoit. Him and Harley were probably the best 1-2 in the NHL has seen for a few years. Let's see what happens next year, because we definitely need a number 2 goalie, and I think Connery's run here should be over. He hasn't earned the job, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep, I would have to agree. Well, that wraps up your random thoughts for this past week, and now we'll look at some questions we've got.
Okay.
The first one, Stanley on second unit power play. I know he is there for the big shot, just not sure if he can distribute it anywhere near as well as 44. Mobility may be an issue as well. As his mobility and distribution may be in question, is there primary for the Cannon?
I don't think he's there just because of his shot, although it's a good one. If they could tee him up for those, like if you were thinking of him as just as a shot guy, you'd put him on the right hash where Kyle Connor plays and set up the one-timer there. Generally speaking, the guy that plays at the top of the umbrella is a distribution guy. Josh, I mean, you can't compare anybody. There's only a few guys. You got Cale McCarr, you got Josh, you got Quinn Hughes. It's a handful of guys that distribute the puck on the power play and run the quarterback like they do. Stan is not that. But could he do a good enough job on the second unit for 30 seconds? Probably. He's surprised a lot of hockey fans this year with his offensive chops. He's playing confident right now. He's making plays, and he's doing stuff right now that he wouldn't even dream of trying a year ago because he didn't have the confidence, and he was afraid if you make a mistake or in the press box. But apparently he works a lot with Mark Scheifele after practice, and they do a lot of these little drills and stuff. And Scheif says, this doesn't surprise me at all. He says he does a lot of good things. So good for Stan. Stan's going to get a payday out of this after all this time of being injured and underachieving and the whole schmear. Yeah. I don't know where it's going to be, but he's going to get paid. So good for him.
Good for him is right.
Mm-hmm.
Second question. I don't know if it's just a natural mindset of players or if coaches apply this defensive mode with leads with 5 minutes left instead of the old adage of the best defense is offense, which a team like Colorado employs, but we sure have blown several leads late and butchered the OT being set in that defensive mindset. Yeah. Do you believe it's a coaching adjustment late or players just naturally running basically a 5-minute penalty kill?
Well, it's a little bit of all that, It's human nature. Generally speaking, I don't want Adam Lowry's or Kepke's line taking chances to score. I'd love to see him in the other end cycle the puck and always have a guy high. Your forechecking changes. You're going to go one man in instead of 2-man in, ready maybe. But you save the scoring for the scoring lines. Maybe the Scheif line goes out there and they can catch their team cheating for a goal a little bit. And the only problem with that, as we've seen lately, is a couple times that's happened and they've missed the empty net or they missed a chance, and all of a sudden now there's an icing. The puck's in our end and they can't change. All these little things add up, and we're bad for that, and it even gets compounded when we don't win that face-off after the icing. So it looks like we're in a defensive posture, but we're not. We're just dragging our ass because some of these guys are dead tired. Now, another thing's come into play too is, and I don't know why this is, but referees seem to get more lenient on the team that's behind, and sometimes they get away with a little bit more, and maybe there should have been a penalty called and they don't call it. And there's things like that. Yes, human nature is to maybe go into a bit of a defensive shell. When you look at the Jets team, your third, your fourth line, and basically almost all your defensemen, outside of Josh, are always in a defensive posture. It's not their game. Stan a little bit now is coming out of his shell and contributing a little bit more offensively, but I don't know if that you can put your finger on any one reason. You know what it is. All the reasons I mentioned, just watch a game. Look up maybe one of those losing streaks when they were ahead. It's, you're in a 2-1 game and you hit the post. Like the game against the Leafs, man, Jonathan Taves hit 2 posts himself. Their goalie chimped a couple saves, and before you know it, they get the next one and then the next one, and it's losing in overtime. So there's a lot of things that contribute. I don't know that it's bad coaching, just bad playing, sometimes some bad decisions. But, like they say, what's the old saying? Shit happens.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, those are all of our questions for this episode.
Okay.
Do you have any thoughts before we do a little sign-off and get our heads in tonight's game?
Yeah. Basically what it's all about is get a point, win a game, get a point. This week we have 4 games. I believe there's,
wow.
Exactly. There's 8 points on the table. I'd love 6. I'll settle for 5. Just keep going up. Now, it depends who you're playing and depends who you're beating. Tonight, if I could have guaranteed 2 wins, I'd take today and tomorrow. St. Louis, Chicago game are more important than some of the others. Let's have a peek at the schedule quick here.
Yeah.
It'd
be nice to win back to back.
Oh,
maybe riding the high off that.
Yeah, we can see. Where's the Olympic break graph? Where are we looking here? Here we go. Okay, so where are we at here? We're
blocking where we're supposed to be looking. 19th and 20. So tomorrow's a home game.
Oh.
Right? We're in the way. We're in the way.
We're blocking it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take off the camera. Okay, so we got 7:30. You got St. Louis, and then here we go Florida. That's one of those games where take it to overtime. We don't care if we drop. We don't want a 3-point game here or here against Chicago or St. Louis, but these other games against Detroit, we don't care if they go to overtime. Just get a point. But they're at home. So that's why I think there's always. I would like to see home ice advantage, but I got to think that since the calendar's flipped toward a different team, will be stronger. Our record hasn't been that great at home, but the reason it's key is because then after that, the last week before the Olympic break, took up the road games.
Oh yeah.
And there's still 2 more before the break. There's home and away. So like I said, 5 in a row, 4 at home is tough. Got to win the home games.
Yep.
If I'm Scott Arnio, I'm keeping an eye on tonight's game. Obviously, G. Willie's behind the bench. If it's a game that Harley is overworked and really had to go beyond, you've got to start commenting on it. If it's a light load, somehow, please, if we can somehow, get a lead and hold on to it. And Harley has an easier night. Let's just go back to back tomorrow. We can't
That would be the best scenario.
Yeah. Because it's one of those St. Louis, they're a formidable team too, so whatever. Anyway, that's
some good games ahead.
Yeah.
Well, that does it for this week's Winnipeg Hockey Talk episode. Thanks for tuning in and listening. If you don't mind, feel free to give us a like, subscribe so you don't miss our pretty awesome lives, I would say.
Yeah.
not to brag, but next Monday we'll be back here.
Okay.
And go Jets, go.
Okay. Enjoy the game and let's go GE.
Yeah. Awesome. Bye.